Hello, everyone. This is Aprajita, and we have Leandro in the hot seat. So we
What?
decided to switch it up because he doesn't get to be interviewed at all. Um, and I think this is going to be very exciting.
I'm nervous. That's not my name.
So he did want to do the intro because he wasn't sure if he can delegate the task to me and if I would be as good as he is. How did I do?
Rocking it.
Awesome. Okay. So I heard that you had a tutorial yesterday about performance testing.
That's correct.
Now, when I think of performance testing, the only thing I can think of is like just hitting something with a lot of requests and breaking stuff. But I'm sure that's not the only thing that performance testing is. So tell us a little bit more about what you did in your tutorial and what is performance testing?
Did you get a crystal ball at Disneyland or something? Like, sounds like you were there. So,
No, I'm just going with, the know it all. I don't know what performance testing it, but I think that's what people think it is. So
you just hit the nail on the head on what is my constant rant? Because the tutorial was on modern performance,
Mm.
which is not equivalent to, as you said, slamming the system, trying to bring it down. There are so many other factors to performance testing, especially on modern days with service, microservices, clouds, and all that stuff. And to keep it continuous, because I like to call them BALT, acronym
sorry, what?
for Big
Bugs?
Ass Load Test,
Ah.
uh, that you should not include in the pipeline. They are not continuous, they are not the right approach.
Mm.
And actually, yeah, I get my eyes kept getting bigger as you kept talking because I'm like, was she there? You kind of like described it perfectly. So in that tutorial, I try to teach people of modern tools how to embrace modern mindsets around performance. It's not only automating and slamming the system and trying to bring it down. We did some experiments on web performance so that you can just open your browser and tell people this sucks, this is good, or this element is heavy, this and that. Some better automation, not only tools, methodologies, and principles. Don't let your automation be only for yourself. Share it with the team,
Mm-hmm.
all the team, product owner included, CEO included, as much as possible. Same with metrics, results, all the pipelines. Make it easy for everyone. Make it transparent. No scary tools that require lots of hard drive or powerful machines
Mm.
or powerful licenses and pricey licenses. All of that was part of the tutorial, and it ended up like in a demonstration of how you can, with good modern performance principles, catch right away when something is out
Mm.
of whack in your pretty much everywhere, shift left, right, up,
Up, down.
down, and uh, bottom or between. All the elements I think that we try to cover. I hope that they learn a lot. I
That
hope.
that's awesome. So I know you were telling me earlier that you also do a blog.
Did
Did
it's there, but
and your YouTube channel is there where people
yeah,
can still go and learn about performance testing.
yeah.
So if AP was to go there today during StarWest and
Hmm.
start learning about all these different aspects of performance testing, AP's thrilled. AP's me, just so that you know. Now that we're thrilled, I go to my management, and as a person who's not an expert in performance testing, if I need to go sell this to my management team, what should I tell them? Like, why is it that this is important? What would be the biggest challenge? What would be the hardest question that they would ask me if I was to try to sell this to them?
So,
Or what do
okay,
you see most, right?
just quick
That
change. We're getting a lot of people. This
oh,
is getting closer to you because otherwise people will get all the screams
the
and
manager's back.
not
Uh,
so fun. Sorry, just had to. Sorry. um, so, and you are again hitting it in the head because one of the slides, actually two, if I remember well, the most important thing, if you don't pay attention to performance as a manager, a product, and you are generating software product
mhm,
money, it translates into money. Eventually, a slow application,
mhm,
you will not be able to do as much sales as you want, provide as much services. The people will not find you, or will be not the best experience. I keep giving this analogy to social media applications.
Mm-hmm.
If they had bad performance,
Mm-hmm.
probably that would be the solution for our addictions. We wouldn't be addicted to them. If you
Mm.
scrolled up and like, oh, it's coming up one day, like, oh, next, okay,
Yeah.
oh, waiting again. Same Netflix. Think of your all your seasons. If you wouldn't be doing a Netflix marathon with
Sure.
the season, if it was slow or you had to wait for a bit, so you lose sales. On the other hand, if I know I've seen managers, oh, it's an internal application, I don't care,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have customers. Well, you're doing an investment in that application, supposedly to increase the productivity of your staff, employees, make them their life easier
Mm-hmm.
or work better. And if it's not performant, they are not going to have good productivity.
Mm-hmm.
That translates into wastes of money, the investment that you did on the software. Your employee will not be able to produce as much
Mm-hmm.
as he or she could or would. So more money lost. And in the end, that's another psychological effect. If you are sad at the software that you have to use at your office,
Mm.
the morale, it's hard to quantify in money, but I'm assuring you, I am pretty sure that if you're not using a software that, not that Excel has to bring you joy, but
Mm-hmm.
at least has to flow with the task at
Right.
hand.
Right.
So if you're miserable at the office, that also has another impact. So there are multiple repercussions of having
Mm-hmm.
bad performance, uh, tears, sweat, even blood at times. But in the end, all of that translates into money. Managers, you'll waste money if you don't pay attention to performance. Straight, simple. I don't know how else can I
And
explain.
you have people who are not happy, which again results into lower productivity, which again results into money.
Losses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, that's a good selling point. And I understood a little bit more about your tutorial. Now, tell me the most fun, and that's the objective, the most fun issue, observation, bug you have found while doing performance testing.
Okay.
And how did you find it?
Oh, that's an interesting story. So, a platform that was being reported to get slow around noon
Hmm.
in general. And
What
there,
type of platform is this? Like e-commerce or like
it was
what type of
financial, but
financial?
internal, like dealing with orders and purchases
Okay.
and details
Okay.
like that. But they noticed that at noon it was getting slow, and they thought that it was right away. Everyone is load testing. Let's slam the system and see where it is.
Hmm.
We were called in. We run our load tests, not at noon, but other times, and it was okay.
Hmm.
It kept flowing. Okay, let's see. And the customer was also like, "So you didn't find anything?"
Hmm.
I'm sorry, but not. It seems like your system is perfect. Something happens at noon. Uh, we did a test at noon. It was not good, and we were like, "What is happening around that time?" Long story short, the investigation was it's not load testing. Again, I have to repeat, everyone, it's not always about load testing. Let's do some research, monitoring, and instrumentation. Blah 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 blah. We found that this organization had two buildings separated from each other,
Ah,
and they were connected to each other somehow. There was a cable, an Ethernet
like
cable going
literally a cable.
from one to the other, exposed to sunlight out there in the. And at
Wow.
noon, sunlight and the weather would heat up the cable. And when you have the Ethernet RJ45, I think it's, if I remember well, the twisted
Yeah.
cords with some temperature do not conduct well, and the speed gets affected. And that was the reason. That is the
Oh my goodness.
what makes you realize that it's not only load testing, that is not only like in the database. Was one of the weirdest spots that we didn't think of finding. Like, hey, I think it's a network problem. Where does the cable? What is? Does anyone has a network map? Oh yeah, and there was like a big um, pack of wires that was passing from one building to the other. It wasn't only that application; the others didn't notice it. But we were like,
Wow.
hey, this has to kind of go underground or wireless or something like that. But it's just wire in the sun.
And severe security vulnerability because somebody could just like
Come and patch
tap
it.
into it.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a fun finding.
And weird. It wasn't like the largest company, but again, it was like, who would think that it's a good idea to have the cable out there? And N- I have done that, sadly. A friend of mine were neighbors, and we shared internet. We just like, there goes the cable, there, and that's it. But this is an organization. This is
Right.
a
You
company,
you would think that they would have better infrastructure.
or hire two different providers and connect outside and something. There are so many workarounds that I can think of.
So, are we going to hear more about performance testing in your session tomorrow? So, what's the title of your session tomorrow? And
So
what are we learning tomorrow?
no, tomorrow is a panel. We're gonna be
Ah,
talking about modern performance in general. We're bringing and trying to bring more experts on performance. Believe it or not, there's not enough people presenting about performance. People, we need more performers here. It's an important topic. And on Thursday,
yeah.
that's the one, I am giving a talk titled Chihuahua Sized Load Testing. The little puppies, Chihuahua puppies. I generally travel with one little plush toy that is my little Chiwi,
And
I
you have
call it.
cats,
Oh, yeah, I have a couple of
like in
cats.
real life, but he carries a chihuahua.
But because it's a plush toy, I haven't been given a green light to adopt a Chihuahua, but it's coming. It's coming. Uh, I forgot it at home, but the little Chihuahua exemplifies that you can carry around a load
Mm.
test in your backpack. Like I always think of Legally Blonde, that had the Chihuahua in the
Ah,
purse. That you can integrate your Chihuahua-sized load test in your pipeline purse and have it easily and walking
available.
around, and uh, not to have this Saint Bernard size of load test, the
Hmm.
bulbs that I was talking about earlier. Uh,
Or infrastructure, like you said.
you don't need huge infrastructure for some of those
You can
things.
have the small bag.
The small bag would have detected the cable issue that we were talking about because it wasn't about size.
Right.
80% of the problems, performance related problems, happen under small loads or for one user, scales for one. So those are the most important that you should catch. And most people are not playing enough with enough chihuahuas out there.
Sure.
So that's the message of the presentation.
Awesome. So I'll be there to
Oh,
hear it.
thank you.
My team is also learning, and me included. I'm no expert in performance testing, of course. I'm learning as well. I'm very excited to hear that talk.
Oh,
And for everyone
pressure.
on the internet that are people who are visiting StarWest, come attend our amazing Chihuahua talk. And please give this specific live session more likes than you did the rest of them, right? Because see, this is my first gig here, right? Um, so give me some credit here, right? Okay. Well, thank you for your time. And thank you to Pablo, our amazing cameraman who's behind the scenes that you cannot see, but he's the one who's doing all the amazing work and shedding pounds of my, demeanor right here, looking much
He's
fitter.
good at the lens effects.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here or putting me on the spot here. uh, I really enjoyed it. It's great that for a change we can experience not only asking question. I'm just like I'm flowing with what you say. It's awesome. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yes. Thank you.
QA Power. Thank you very much. Stay tuned because we are coming back in a moment with the drinks. I think you saw some of the action happening already. Let's get there.
We have some bubblies here.
Adios. We'll be back.